Are you a 2025 UTME aspirant? Then you must take this video seriously, because while I was preparing for my UTME, I actually did read. But trust me, at the end of the day, it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to be. And so, but I'm going to be sharing what I did that actually made me not to pass. Okay, but trust me, I read. Okay, and that is what a lot of persons we do. They will read, but at the end of the day they will come out failing. And the question is why? All right, so in this video I am going to be telling you the whys that actually make UTME candidates to fail. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If this is your first video with us, do want to hit the subscribe button. So I share academic videos where you get to learn tips, tricks on how to improve yourself academically. So if you are a fan of something like this, do want to hit the subscribe button, like this video, share with your loved ones, and yeah, let's go into the video. Alright, so in this video I have shared the video into 4 different parts, and I'll be talking about how and why UTME candidates end up failing the examination. And trust me, you must watch this video till the end so that you don't end up making any of those mistakes in UTME 2020. So the first one is preparation and study habits. So you get to know that there are some ways that UTME candidates actually prepare. It's the wrong way, and they actually use the wrong study techniques, so the wrong study habits. And so I'm going to be sharing with you what is the wrong preparation and what is the wrong study habit. Inadequate preparation time. Some UTME candidates right now, they are not preparing for the examination because they feel they still have a lot of time to prepare for. And meanwhile, the time you feel you still have a lot of time, there are a lot of candidates who are also preparing for the exam that have started reading, and at the end of the day they come out passing with a very high score, and you are surprised and amazed saying you read. But yes, you read, but the question is, did you start reading at the appropriate time? And you now look for a video where you can watch how to pass JAMB in 2 days or how to pass JAMB in 3 days. No, that is not what you should do. So make use of the time. So that is one error UTME students make. They always push their preparation towards the dying minutes of the exam. Then poor study strategies. All right, so there are some poor study habits that UTME students tend to do, which is number 1 is cramming. Now, cramming has its own benefits, but trust me, the bulkiness of the UTME syllabus wouldn't help you if you just keep cramming. Okay, now why am I saying this? You will need to prepare for 4 subjects. Now, how possible will you cram 4 subject syllabus in your brain? How possible is that? So what will benefit you more is if you study to understand. All right, so this actually gives you an edge rather than just cramming, because at the end of the day they waste so much time cramming, and when it gets to the examination time, they can't actually put in the work they have actually built because they crammed. But those who actually study, no matter how they twist the question, they can still actually attempt the question no matter how confusing the question is. Next one is lack of study plan. Now, some of them study, some UTME candidates study, but they don't have a study plan. So you must make sure you have a study plan. Ensure you have a study plan. Today, after watching this video, make sure you go and draft out a study plan for your UTME preparation. All right, so the next one I'm going to talk about is procrastination. They tend to procrastinate a lot. So after making this study plan, they still keep on procrastinating. You are supposed to study by 6 p.m, but now it is 5:40 and you're like, oh, let me just wait till 6 p.m. And it gets to 6 p.m. and you say, let me wait till 6:30. If it gets to 6:30, say, let me wait till 7 o'clock. And the time you have wasted cannot be gotten back. So trust me, that time is gone, and it's gone forever. So do well to try as much as possible to avoid procrastination, because this is what actually makes some UTME candidates to fail. Now, the next point is ignoring weak areas. There are a lot of candidates when preparing for this examination, they ignore the weak areas, they go to the simpler ones. I did that. I am a candidate who also did that. While preparing for my first UTME, I was not really good in physics, and so I was very good in chemistry and also biology. Yeah, I was trying, but English, science students and English, like 5 and 500, they are not really close. And so I was like that, and all the time I was not really focusing on physics. I was focusing on chemistry till the exam. And trust me, it reflected in my result, because I had an 88 in chemistry and I had 62 in physics. So you can see the gap is 88 and 62. Now the question is, if I had put the same work I put in chemistry in physics, you see that okay, because even if I'm not good in physics, I would have gotten, let me see, something like 78 or 80, and it actually boosts my score. So if you are in that condition, or you are in that state right now where you are prioritizing the subjects you like the most and you are ignoring the ones you don't like, please end it today after watching this video. While preparing for your UTME, the first subjects you are writing are very, very important. Make sure you know the four subjects, even if you don't know them 100%. Yes, you have your favorites, but make sure you don't leave one and say, let me focus on this one. Make sure you carry every single thing along. That mistake they make is over reliance on past questions. There are several approaches UTME candidates take in regards to past question. You don't study past question with the motive of it coming out in the examination. If that is your motive, then that is a very wrong motive that must be corrected today. The purpose of past question is to give you an idea of how the exam is, and possibly tell you how the questions come, and also important areas in the syllabus. That is the purpose of past question. Past question is not designed to give you that motive of as you are studying it, you sit in the exam. And so most of JAMB candidates or UTME candidates I have seen over the years, they just cram the past question and say, okay, let me go for the examination. And trust me, everything you see there will be different, but because you prepared for past question, you end up failing. So try as much as possible to understand the concept of every particular topic in your syllabus rather than just cramming past question. Understand the concept, then study your past question. All right, another reason why students fail is because they don't use the recommended books. All right, they don't use the recommended books. Trust me, those books JAMB recommend, those are the books they set questions from. So it's not like they just go to the textbook, copy a particular part in the textbook and put it into the computer system and ask. No, that's not what they do. But it is just the recommended texts are just guidelines for you to, like, they have already told you, oh, this is what you need to know to pass this examination. And so all your study should be in that line. But many students don't really look at this recommended text. They just, any textbook they see, they open and read. So do well to check out the recommended text for JAMB examination. All right, so you can check the website, check the JAMB syllabus. It is always attached at the end in the recommended books for each course or each subject that you are going to be taking for the examination. All right, so another factor that actually make UTME candidates not to do so well in their examination is inconsistent study habits. All right, so if you have a study habit, stick to it. All right, make sure your brain gets to master the study habit and use it effectively. Don't just switch from one study habit to the other. You hear, oh, my friend is using this one, you jump to this one. You hear another one, you jump to this one, and before you know, you end up perplexing your brain. Your brain don't even know which one to use. Okay, so stick to a study habit. All right, then another factor that actually makes them not to do so well is distractions. All right, distractions, there are a lot of distractions. One of the most commonest distractions is the mobile phone. All right, say to yourself, phone will not be a distraction too. Alright, so the next session is the exam taking strategy session. So a lot of aspirants don't take this exam taking strategy serious, and so because of this, they don't really do well in the examination. So the first thing under these exam taking strategies is time management. Alright, so this time management, don't really take it serious, and so when they start the examination, they feel so relaxed answering the questions, and before you know, they have limited time and so much questions to answer. And so because of this, they tend to leave some questions unanswered. And trust me, leaving some questions unanswered, they automatically means there is no way you are going to do well or do so well compared to when you answer all the question. Then also not reading the questions carefully. And so yeah, that anxiety can be there, or incitement. Over incitement, you're just incited. Probably the first 3 questions you saw were questions you already know the answers to, or you know the answers to, and so you're over incited. So as questions are coming, you're no longer reading it carefully again, because as a result of this over incitement or anxiety, whichever the case may be, you end up picking the wrong answers. And so picking the wrong answers we eventually make you not to do well. Make sure you read the questions carefully. Careless mistakes. All right, so careless mistakes, UTME is kind of very delicate. I wouldn't say it's that delicate, but trust me, any exam that has to do with computer based can be so delicate. Like, you just need to be extremely careful and meticulous about it, because any little mistake you make can ruin your preparation for months. Now you must avoid careless mistakes like turning off your system, because there are some CBT centers you go to, the connections that are made are below or the position of where your feet is. So position your leg in a way that even if you stretch your leg, you don't stretch it and unplug a particular cable, or just shake one wire, or just do one thing. At the end of the day, your system just goes off. Now, once your system goes off, there's no need to panic. But the truth of the matter is, if it's something that is going to take time to fix, after they have fixed it, you continue your exam, but no time will be added to you. That's just the difference. And so these careless mistakes can actually make you not to do so well, right? There are also careless mistakes like mistakenly confusing a concept with another concept, right? So it reminds me of one of the UTME I wrote, okay, let me put it that way. And so I think it was in chemistry. I was given a organic compound to name, and so to cut the long story short, the options, organic compound, there's a way you name it. If you name it from the front, it will give you a separate name. If you name it from the back, it will give you a separate name. And so I knew the rules for naming front, naming back, closest bond, all those things. I knew the rules. But getting to the exam day, like, I named this from the front, I got 224 trimethyl pentane. I named it from the back, I got 244 trimethyl pentane, and I was very, very confused, and I was like, wait, what am I supposed to do here? What am I supposed to do here? And now, while I was preparing for the exam, I read it in octane number rating in organic chemistry, petroleum purity, and all those stuffs like that. I read it there that it's supposed to be 224 trimethyl pentane, but at the end of the day, I ended up picking 244 trimethyl pentane. Can you imagine? That's why I picked. Now you can see that careless mistake. I did not fail the question, not because I don't know what to pick, but I failed it because I mistook something. Like, I just confused, mixed the whole concept together. So these are careless mistakes that at the end of the day, imagine someone making this mistake like 5 to 10 places. You are failing for something and you can see. So these actually make candidates not to do so well in the exam. So another thing is familiarity with the CBT standard. So most students are not really familiar with the CBT. They don't know how to use computer. They don't really know how the interface looks like. So they just go to the examination hall with the hope of Jesus Christ will help me, God will help me, and you just get there that day and you will just be so confused. Or even if you are not confused, the anxiety is going to increase. Why? Because you don't even know some of these stuffs. You don't know how to use a keyboard. You don't know how to use a mouse. So do well to get yourself familiarized with some of this stuff, so when you get there that day, you already know that, oh, this is a mouse, this is a keyboard, this is a monitor, and go straight to your examination. That is how easy it can be. Mindset and motivation cannot be overemphasized. You need the right mindset, you need the right motivation to stay motivated and ensure that you pass this examination. But unfortunately, most students don't have this mindset and motivation. Some students just have this feeling of, even before they started the exam, or even before they even write the exam, they already have this feeling of, I cannot pass. They have given themselves a particular score range. I cannot pass this score, I cannot pass this score, I can pass this. No, you are not supposed to. That negative thinking shouldn't be there. You should have the right mindset of, oh, if I prepare adequately for this exam, I can actually achieve this. This actually makes you see, there are so many benefits of having the right mindset. It looks like magic. Yes, it looks like magic. Before you know it, you will see that my first UTME, I actually gave an estimate. When I came out of the hall, I gave an estimate that this is actually going to be my UTME score. And eventually, that was the UTME score I had. The exact UTME score, that was what I had. So what I'm trying to say is, it is what the mindset you have. It's going to actually help your brain, configure your brain to reason and to be streamlined to that motivation. If you are motivated, or if you have this thinking of, I will not pass, if you read, your brain already has this configuration of, I will not pass. Though you'll be reading, but at the end of the day, even if you pass, you would have done better if you have the right mindset. So make sure you have the right mindset. So having known the common mistakes that UTME aspirants make that actually make them not to do so well in the examination, ensure you watch the recent video I just did about how to blast your UTME 2025 examination, the ultimate guide on how to pass your UTME 2025. without any story. All right, my experience, I shared my experience and some tips that you can also utilize. Okay, so do well to check out that video right now. So if you have watched this video, I know you enjoyed this video. Do well to like this video, share, comment, and hit the subscribe button if you have not subscribed to this channel. So we'll meet in the next video. Bye.